Good afternoon, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. Alright, you guys, so I was talking about when you're with your female friends and they're not being completely honest with you. Now, I'm going to get in more in depth with it, okay? And hopefully I can explain some of the psychology behind that. And so you can realize that your female friends are not really like evil. Okay, so if I was making it sound like that they're evil, they're not. This is just like a basic psychology behind friendships and why people say things and they're not being completely honest. But they're not doing it with ill intent. Okay, but I'm going to talk about people and their comfort level. Okay, so when you're with your friends are a comfort to you. So like you've been knowing your friends for years and years and years, and when you go to your friends, what do you really want from them? You want a sense of familiarity, right? So you don't really want your friends to change. What do you say in your yearbooks and stuff like that? You like your friends the way they are, right? And you're like, like in my yearbooks, Juliana, don't ever change and stuff like that, and I'm reading that, getting kind of annoyed, like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to change. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to change and grow, and I would get a little annoyed by that, but because, I know as, somebody who studies psychology that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be growing and changing all the time. But, of course, I didn't tell people that, like, quit writing that in my yearbook. But they're like, you're so cool, don't ever change. Well, of course, I change every year. I just kind of, I'm a chameleon, I look different all the time, and of course, my personality changes a lot, and, as a Gemini, I'm probably like a different person every 5 minutes, so, yeah, of course I'm going to change, and, sometimes, the people that like me this year may not like me next year. I mean, I may just seem like a different person, right? I mean, I may seem like a different person than the person who started the show, like a few years ago. My channel may have turned into a different type of channel. Who knows? Hopefully I've changed and grown, and hopefully I'm, providing quality content. But I mean, I'm growing and changing as a person. But what you want from your friends is you don't want them to change. Why? Because you see them as a source of comfort. Right? You don't want them to change. You want them to be something kind of like the way you see your grandparents, or the way you see your parents, or just something, you see them as a constant. You see them as someone you want to go to, someone you want to confide in. It's one of those things that they're just something in your life that you don't want them to ever be different. Right? But that's a very unrealistic thing. So let's say hypothetically you have this friend, and ever since after high school they've they gained a bunch of weight, and let's say that they weigh like, let's do the chubby friend again, okay? Because we were talking about the chubby friend in the last one. So like your friend weighs like 230 pounds, because I used to weigh 230 pounds. So we're gonna and I lost that weight by myself, by the way. So, and I no longer weigh that. So let's say the friend weighs 230 pounds, okay? So the friend no longer wants to weigh the 230 pounds. However, you're used to that friend weighing that because they've been weighing that for the past 10 years. So the friend starts, verbalizing that they're fat and they don't like being fat. And I'm sorry, but anybody who weighs that much, is probably fat, right? Especially if they're as tall as I am. I was fat when I weighed 230 pounds, right? So they're complaining about being fat. Now, you don't want your friend to change at all because you like your friend as a person, right? This is somebody you can confide in, who gives you good advice. They're a nice person, all right? And so what you're doing is you're personalizing their weight. All right, so when they're talking about themselves being fat, what you're doing is you're personalizing that. You're taking them saying that they're fat as that they're a bad person and all this other stuff, and you're thinking, gosh, if they lose the weight, they might stop being a nice person. They might stop being a person who eats hamburgers and ice cream with me, and they might stop being a person who listens to my problems, and they might stop being a person who gives good hugs, and they might stop being a person who sits still for long periods of time. They might, I kind of like their fat behaviors, things that you associate them with their chubbiness. You know what I mean? That you think are fat behaviors, that are positive fat behaviors. You think that those things are going to go away. Those things that are positive about them being chubby. Okay, so you're taking it like they're complaining about them being fat, and you're saying, no, you're not. You're just thick. You're fine the way you are. Because you're thinking about all those positive things about them since they gained the weight, the positive aspects of their personality that have developed since they've put that weight on. All right, you don't want them to change. Okay, because you're thinking, when you were skinny, you weren't like that. All right, you were always on the go. You weren't such a good listener. You weren't a hugger and all this other stuff. But what was about them, then is they were just younger, right? But I mean, the person could lose all that weight, but they could still have those qualities, right? But what you're doing is you're basically sabotaging that person from being a better version of themselves, and you're being selfish. Okay, that person needs to lose that weight because when I dropped all that weight, I got a lot healthier, right? And it didn't stop me from being a nice person. In fact, I'm probably a nicer person because I feel better, and, I can breathe better, and I can do all kinds of things. And here I am sick with the flu, but I'm still making content. If I still weighed that much, I probably couldn't even make that content because I would still be, overweight and be breathing really, really hard because I would be fighting being overweight and being sick at the same time. I probably couldn't even make the content, right? But the fact that I'm smaller, I can still make the content. So, you're equating them talking about their fat and you're personalizing it. You don't want your friend to change, okay? So that's what you don't like about them complaining about themselves. So if you're the person who's complaining about your weight to your friends and stuff like that, my suggestion to you is stop telling your friends about your flaws. Stop confiding in your friends about the ways you want to change. What you're going to want to do is stop telling your skinny friends you're fat, because what they're going to do is they're going to feel bad if they agree with you, but they're not going to see you the way you see yourself. Okay, you're not personalizing your weight. You're talking about something that's your medical problem, and you're telling them you want to lose weight because you want to be more like them. You see that they lead a healthier lifestyle and that they're getting more out of life, and you want to have what they have, okay? And they're really just being selfish because they don't realize how much better they have it than you have it, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just start having a healthier lifestyle. And if they notice you're losing weight, go, oh yeah, thank you. I think I lost a few pounds. Thank you for noticing. And just leave it at that. Okay? Leave it at that. Continue being the cool person that you are. Just, still have your personality traits. Just be a cool person and just keep losing the weight. And go, oh yeah, I think I'm losing weight. And just don't make a big deal out of it. Just keep being the person that you are. Because what happens is a lot of people are just uncomfortable with change. All right? They're afraid that you're going to stop being the nice person that you are. You're going to stop being the person that listens to their problems. You're going to stop being fun. Okay? people that are bigger usually like to cook. You probably have them over and you probably make food, okay? They're afraid you're not going to do that anymore. They're afraid you're going to, you're not going to hang out and eat and do all those fun things and stuff like that, okay? And I really hate to say this, but some people like hanging around you because you're making them feel skinny. Yeah, I had to bring that up. So, you might want to throw it in, well, you're still skinnier than me, ha ha ha, and just kind of like gas their ego up a little bit. Okay, just kind of. And once you start being skinny too, go, well, you were always skinny. Keep gassing their ego up a little bit, because they're going to start to feel threatened once you start getting a good body and all this kind of stuff. They're going to, you're going to start getting looks. You're going to start getting more attention. You're going to start, getting, people are going to come up and they're not going to just notice your friend. They're going to notice you too. And they're not going to like it because they're used to the one getting all the attention. Okay. And so people are going to start asking your friend, hey, who's your friend? And stuff like that. They're not going to like it. All right. And just be like, well, you were always skinny, and just like keep just kind of flattering them a little bit, just kind of feed their ego a little bit, because they're not going to like seeing you change. All right. It's going to be uncomfortable to them. And just flatter their ego a little bit. Okay. Because they're going to need it, because they're not going to be very comfortable with you changing. All right, and you're like, ew, I have to really do that? Well, it's a smart thing to do. All right, it's a socially intelligent thing to do if you want them to take the change more gracefully. I highly recommend it. Okay, because they're used to you being big. All right, so you just kind of sometimes you got to just change in a way that where you're not announcing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Now, some people are afraid to tell their friends the truth that their friends are not attractive. Okay? Now, if your friend is not attractive, you can tell your friend that they look nice when they dress up. Like, wow, you look like you can get a high-paying job right now. Wow, you look nice. Wow, you look really stylish. You can say things like that if they're not the best-looking person, okay? Because some people really do make an effort, and they really have a lot of style. They dress with a lot of flair. Some people are just not good-looking. Okay, so I really don't think you should lie to people who are not good-looking and tell them they're good-looking, okay? Because they know they're not. Okay, I have seen people on Facebook get lied to by their friends and family. Being called pretty and beautiful and handsome and all this stuff, and these people are absolutely hideous. Okay, and I'm looking at the people who are saying these things to them, and they're their relatives. Okay, and I'll see that their significant others won't even say that to them. All right, so I'm thinking, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'm thinking you'd think their significant others would at least find them attractive, and they don't. So I think they need to get other significant others that are at least attracted to them. Find somebody who's attracted to you, but you could see that their friends and relatives are all gassing them up and basically lying to them. Yeah. So give compliments that are realistic to people, okay? Because I don't know, I just don't think you should lie to people. All right. Tell them realistically what looks nice on them. If you really want to help somebody get ahead, don't lie and say they look a certain way when they don't, okay? You see your friends in a certain light. All right? You see your female friends as beautiful and wonderful and special and stuff like that. That doesn't mean men do. All right. So be realistic with your friends, okay? Don't tell them that they shouldn't improve themselves in certain ways when they should. If they're not attracting the opposite sex, there's a reason for it. Okay, if they need to change their hair, their style, or something like that, okay, then they need to do it, okay? Because there's always something that they can do that's going to make them more appealing to the opposite sex. There are women that are attractive to other women, okay, because we all think our female friends are beautiful, okay? That doesn't mean men do. There are things that women can do to make themselves more attractive to the opposite sex. So stop lying to them and saying there's nothing wrong with them when you can say, you know what, if you grew your hair long, men generally find that attractive. I mean, personally, I know I would be more attractive if I grew my hair long. Okay, so that's just, I'm just being more realistic with it, okay? So, but no one comes out and says that to me. I just know it, okay? But women tell me I'm attractive all the time. It's probably because I'm attractive to women. Okay, so that's because certain women are attractive to women. Okay, but there are things that men tend to find attractive, but women won't tell other women that. Women won't give each other cheat codes. Women won't be honest with other women about things. Okay, women won't tell other women, hey, you know, if you lost about 40 pounds, grew your hair out, did this or did that, wore high heels, did whatever, more men would talk to you. We just aren't honest with each other about things like that. Okay, but I have enough male friends to know what guys find attractive. Okay, and certain things they don't like. All right, and if you're a woman and guys don't like talking to you, get some guy friends and ask them, what do guys like? And listen to the guy. If he tells you, hey, hun, you need to grow your hair out, you need to do this, you need to wear more dresses, and you need to do that. Okay, listen to the dude when he tells you. All right, because your female friends are not going to be honest with you about that. Okay, they're going to tell you that you're beautiful and there's nothing wrong with you, and they may think that. Okay, but it's because women see other women differently than men see women. Okay, but your male friends, they will tell you the truth. Okay, unless they're just trying to get into your pants and they don't want other guys to have you. I mean, you know, so I don't know what to tell you about that one. But if you have like a platonic male friend and he's like a true friend, he's going to tell you, hun, you need to do this and that and the other, and you know, guys will be more attracted to you. You know, but men are mostly visual, and they don't like women that talk too much. Learn to talk less and listen more. And look, it's all about looks. When it comes to men, it's about looks. Okay, there can be a guy who says that looks don't matter, but on some level they do. Okay, guys that say they're not shallow, that looks don't matter, and all this other stuff, but makes a big deal about hot women. Okay, so he's full of shit. Okay, so guys are visual. Every single guy is visual. I don't care what he says. So I think that's all I have to say about that. And I hope this made sense, and I hope this helped somebody. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.